episode 93 of All the Everything podcast. I'm Billy. That's Tim.
What's up, Billy? Thanks for joining us today for another one of our favorite summer short series. We've got a great episode for you guys today. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. So let's get right into it. Well, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. Are you ready, my friend?
You better believe it. Let's get into all the everything, y'all.
All the everything. 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 Podcast! Welcome to the madness.
Well, welcome back to yet another amazing episode of All the Everything podcast. As always, I'm one of your co-hosts, Tim Sawhook, and I'm joined by my man, Billy, bringing back the 80s haircut, Parchman. Not really.
I did get a haircut, but
When this all comes out later, Billy made some really fun 80s videos today for our conference coming up, so I couldn't get that out of my head. And trust me, his 80s photo, which he hopes he shares afterwards, is pretty legit, and it's really funny. And mine is pretty funny too, but yeah, so sorry, I had 80s on my mind. Well, we've got, like I said, we got a really fun episode today. This is one of our part twos of one that everyone really loves. So, Billy, what are we talking about today, my friend?
Yeah, but whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, the evening TV. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We're back at it with whatever happened to one of our most nostalgic episodes. It was one of my favorite ones for the part one. You know, on that one we talked about MySpace, we talked about malls, we talked about Blockbuster, we talked about MTV. That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just taking it back to the days of old, remembering those things that just aren't the same now.
Yeah.
And so the things that we're fond of, or I don't know what Tim's talking about today, so you might not be fond of it. We'll see.
I hope so. I hope you guys are. I think you will be. So, Billy, my question for you is, whatever happened to? What do you got for us today?
Well, whatever happened to Pizza Hut?
Oh.
Have you ever noticed that sometimes it's not the food that you miss, it's the experience? It's exactly how I feel about Pizza Hut. And I'm not talking about ordering pizza on your phone and having it show up like 30 minutes later. I'm talking about the Pizza Hut that most of us grew up with.
Yeah.
The one with the giant red roof that you could spot from a mile away. The one that had those stained glass lamps hanging over every booth. The unmistakable smell that hits you the second you open the door. That feeling that you are about to spend the next hour having dinner instead of simply grabbing a bite to eat.
Right.
Somewhere along the way, Pizza Hut stopped being a destination and became just another place to get pizza. The pizza may still be around, but the experience that just kind of made it unforgettable, that's disappeared. And I honestly think that many of us feel the same way and miss that. So growing up, going to Pizza Hut wasn't something that just happened every week, which made it feel even more special, right? Maybe your baseball team had just won a game. Maybe it was somebody's birthday. Maybe you got a great report card, or maybe your parents just didn't feel like cooking on a Friday night.
Yep.
Whatever the reason was, pulling into that parking lot felt exciting because you knew you weren't just eating dinner, you were going somewhere. Every Pizza Hut looked almost identical. And somehow that consistency made it comfortable. The red roof, the brick walls, the giant windows, the glowing sign, that all told you exactly where you were before you stepped in. It almost felt like walking into a place that had been built specifically for family memories. And looking back, maybe it really was.
Can I just say something, Billy? I am super excited about this topic about Pizza Hut.
Yes.
This is something that's been talked about in our house quite a bit, about the old Pizza Hut experience. And people are craving it right now. They're craving it so much.
It's like a legit, like when you think about whatever happened to, I was like, whatever happened to this, you know, because it was special in Mississippi, in Ohio, obviously, you know. And so that's,
you took me right back when you said like your baseball won the championship or the birthday party. I could feel that vibe like coming back in hard. So I won't interrupt you some
Right.
more, but I just had
No,
to say, like,
no,
I'm
no.
loving this.
It's
Yeah,
and that's what makes this episode so cool is because
yeah.
it was something special. The first thing that always hits you was the smell, and I don't
Mm,
know if they've changed the recipe over the years or if nostalgia just convinced my brain that everything smelt better back then. But there was nothing quite like the combination of fresh pizza, melted cheese, buttery crust,
mm.
garlic, and breadsticks. And before you even sat down, you were already hungry. You slid into one of those oversized red booths and somehow
Yeah.
just seemed enormous when you were a kid. And sitting over that table was one of those stained glass lamps that practically became a symbol of Pizza Hut itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny how something so simple as a light fixture can trigger like memories
Yeah.
years later. If you show someone our age those lamps, chances are they will immediately think about pizza with the family.
Oh,
I mean,
instantly.
it just kind of triggers that um, those memories. I mean, it's
Right.
crazy like how a smell or if you just see something that just kind of like
Oh,
oh and it
totally.
hooks you in and then you're replaying that in your mind.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
it's
doing it right now as you're talking. I'm thinking, God, I want
yeah.
Pizza Hut.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But then there were those legendary red plastic cups. And,
Yes.
and I know it sounds ridiculous, but I will argue this all day long. Pepsi just tasted more crisp in
Mm-hmm.
those red cups. And, I'm a Coke drinker, but, Pizza Hut always had Pepsi. And that
Yeah.
was part of the experience, too. It was something different, which was cool, too, because most places they serve Coke, right?
Now, not only did they have those red glasses, but you had that big pitcher of Coke on the table where they'd
Yes, the
fill the
pitch they would bring
pitcher.
the
Oh man,
yes,
forget about
yes.
it.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh. Oh my
yeah.
gosh. But those red cups became a part of Pizza Hut. The whole
Mm-hmm.
experience. That was part of it. It's amazing how little details like that become part of our memories. One of my favorite parts was simply just kind of waiting for the food.
Yeah.
Today, we're so used to watching like the little progress bar, when you order your
Yeah.
pizza and you're tracking your driver on the phone and you're
Yeah.
just like you're seeing each step by step. But going to Pizza Hut was different. You'd order your pizza. You would talk with your family. You maybe color on the paper
Oh my
placemat,
gosh.
or
Yes.
you kind of wander over to the arcade when your parents weren't looking. Right in
Mm-hmm.
the corner there of every Pizza Hut. Eventually, you would see somebody carrying that heavy black pan towards your table.
Oh my gosh.
The
Yes.
cheese would still be bubbling, the crust would be perfectly golden, and everyone had to wait a minute because you knew if you grabbed that slice too quickly, that molten cheese would be like lava on the roof of your mouth.
Oh my
And of
gosh.
course, nobody waited long enough, and always, I burnt my tongue. I burnt
Yeah.
my tongue. My tongue. I don't have no taste buds.
Oh, yeah. Or the roof of your mouth is like
Oh
bubbling
my
like the
god.
next day or so. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Oh goodness gracious. But let's talk a little bit about those pan pizzas just for a
Oh
minute
my
and
gosh.
how like really they were different. The
Mm-hmm.
crust was buttery, like almost like fried around the edges, and just managed to be crispy on the outside, but staying soft in the middle. And
Yeah.
every slice felt substantial.
I was actually saying that's how I describe my body: crispy on the outside and really soft in the middle. So yeah. Anyhow, you're
Every,
welcome for that image,
Yep.
everybody.
There you go. There you go, everybody. Every slice, it just somehow made a simple like pepperoni pizza taste like the greatest thing in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it wasn't objectively better than every pizza today, but I think in the context it kind of matters.
Right.
Food always tastes better when it's connected to good memories. And
Mm-hmm.
Pizza Hut became attached to birthdays, celebrations, Friday nights, family dinners. We weren't just eating pizza, we were creating memories without realizing what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Then, y'all, oh my gosh, okay, this right here, y'all. Then there was the lunch buffet,
Oh my
which
gosh.
oh my gosh. Honestly
Yes.
felt like one of the greatest inventions of all time when you were a kid. There always seemed to be another pizza coming out right as you finished your current slice.
Yeah.
And somehow there was always one that just looked better than the last. you had breadsticks, you had
Oh
pasta,
my
you had
gosh.
dessert pizzas, and of course there was the salad bar, which every adult seemed to be incredibly excited about, while every kid was looking at it and wondering why would I waste space in my stomach for
Yeah.
pizza on salad? But
Right.
looking back, I completely understand why parents loved it.
Do you have a separate spot in this talk just about the breadsticks?
The breads, I don't, but you want to talk about the breadsticks for a minute?
Let's just talk about them. Those are
Yes.
some of the best breadsticks I've ever had in my life. They always come out
Yes, they
hot and crispy with that seasoning on top of it and the
yes.
warm
Come on now.
pizza sauce to dip them in. Oh my
Come on
gosh.
now.
We used
Come
to
on
order
now.
Pizza Hut just for the breadsticks back in the day when we were first married at our first house. We'd order
Uh-huh.
those all the time because they're so
Jeez.
good. And when they were on that buffet, you had endless breadsticks. I mean, it's a kid's dream. It's an adult's dream. Who am I trying to kid? I would eat
What are you
unlimited
talking
breadsticks
about?
right now if I could. Yeah.
Come on now. Come
Sorry,
on now.
you kept bringing up the breadsticks. I'm like, oh my god, that's all I can
Come.
think about right now.
No, they deserve their time in glory to
They do.
shine in
They do.
that golden buttery goodness that they
Oh
are.
my god.
Oh
Dude, you're
gosh.
getting me so hungry. I've not had lunch or any food today. I am starving now. The only thing I have to
Yep.
look forward to after this is a protein bar. So
Woohoo.
I'm gonna order some Pizza Hut pizza right now so I can eat it like the
Yeah.
second half of this podcast. What's your address, Billy? You're gonna get some breadsticks sent to you
Heck
ASAP.
yeah. Come on. Come on now. I will not reject those. Come on. Oh my gosh. The marinara. Goodness.
No, all day. All
But
right.
going back to our childhood, y'all, and
Mm-hmm.
this right here for those 80s, those 90s kids, right? If there was one thing that truly connected Pizza Hut with childhood, it had to be Book It. For those
Mm-hmm.
who've never experienced it, schools partnered with Pizza Hut to reward kids for reading books. And every month, you would get this little certificate for a free personal pan pizza if you reached your reading goals. And suddenly, every kid became the most motivated reader in America.
Can I ask you a question, Billy, for everybody,
Yes.
our amazing listeners out there? Raise your hand if you lied about reading a book just to get the pizza. Because if you're not raising your hand, you are lying to yourself and everybody in your family. Because everybody at one point lied about reading a book just to get that free pizza. Billy, Billy.
No comment. No comment. No comment.
Okay, maybe it was just
But
me. God, and I feel like a
no,
criminal.
no. Wink. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
But yeah, but looking back, it was actually quite genius. Kids thought they were earning pizza while teachers were actually quietly getting everyone excited about reading. You
Mm-hmm.
would proudly walk into the Pizza Hut with that certificate in your hand, like you just won an Olympic gold medal. And then when they brought you that tiny personal pan pizza, that belonged only to you. It
Mm-hmm.
felt like the greatest reward imaginable. It wasn't your parents buying you dinner. You had earned it. And somehow that made that taste even better. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the Book It. That and when the
Yeah.
Land Before Time came out, they had these Land Before Time hand puppets that
Yeah.
I still have upstairs in the
No
attic
way. Are you
right now.
serious?
I do. I do. If I
Okay.
didn't want to, if they weren't so far back in the attic, I would have dug them out for this. But I just did not feel like it's 110 degrees here in Alabama, and I didn't feel like going.
Oh, I don't blame you. I was to say maybe you could share them on the
You
socials
know,
later on, but
I think I have a picture somewhere of them the last time we had them out to
okay,
show
cool.
Chloe, and so I'll have to find that one and repost it. But we still have them, and
I can't believe
I,
you still
that,
have those.
yeah, that was one of the greatest like prizes, gifts, kids meal, Happy Meal toys, whatever that they
Mm-hmm.
had back in the day. And so I just wanted to mention those because that was something that it's like a core memory to me. It's a core memory, like Inside Out.
Definitely.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And of course, nothing stays the same forever. And
Mm-hmm.
somewhere along the way, Pizza Hut began changing. Delivery became a priority. Carryouts
Yeah.
became faster. The huge dining rooms slowly started disappearing. Those famous red roofs were being replaced by buildings that looked like every other building in a strip mall
Yeah.
restaurant. The stained glass lamps vanished. The buffets became harder and harder to find. The arcade games disappeared. And before long, many locations felt less like Pizza Hut that we remembered and so much like every other quick pizza spot out there.
Yeah.
They lost their sparkle. We miss the personality that was in those restaurants versus the minimalist gray walled self-service kiosks that we see
Yeah.
today. Pizza Hut happened to represent all of those things, which is why so many people get so nostalgic about when they see one of those red roof buildings, standing somewhere that haven't already been turned into like a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, like
Oh
every
my
one of
gosh,
ours
that's so
is
true.
now now a Mexican restaurant. Every single one of them here in Tuscaloosa. And so,
It's like the
uh,
same skeleton of Pizza Hut, but it's now
yes,
Mexican. Yeah.
yes, they painted the
Yeah.
roofs, and you know, nostalgia has a funny way of making us believe everything used to be better, and I'm sure it wasn't always true. I'm sure
Yeah.
there was nights the service was slow or the pizza wasn't perfect, but our memories don't hold on to those moments. They hold on to the birthdays, the celebrations, the little
Mhm.
league victories, the report cards, like we said, the
Yeah.
conversations with our parents, um, and when that pizza arrived at the table. That's what we remember.
Yeah.
Pizza just happened to be, part of those memories.
Mhm.
It's part of the whole story. So maybe the better question isn't whatever happened to Pizza Hut. Maybe the real question is whatever happened to experiences like that.
Mhm.
Places where families slowed down, conversations lasted longer than the meal itself. Dinners itself became the event instead of something squeezed in because you had to eat. You
Mhm.
know, those are the things that I find myself missing more and more as I get older. But here's the interesting part: Pizza Hut has actually announced that it is bringing back that
Yes.
classic experience. They're opening over 150 Pizza Hut classics around the
Mhm.
country. Now, sadly, Alabama is not on that list right now. It breaks my
Oh.
heart. There's
I
there's
w
quite a few in Ohio though that are coming. I don't know how close to you they are,
Oh,
um,
now I wanna look it
but
up and find out. I'll do that
yeah,
after
but
the show.
after on pizzahut.com, they have all the locations where the red cups are coming back, those stained glass, the lampshades and everything, they're all coming back. And so you get your red cup, fill it up with some fizzly Pepsi products, and just dig into some new memories, y'all.
Digging some
There you
new memories. That was so good, Billy. I was starting to look at pizzahut.com, but
go.
I don't have time to dig in here and find where that's gonna tell me where it's at. So anyhow,
Oh
um,
man,
but no, that was great because it does. It's just all about the nostalgia of it all and
it's so
the
good.
part about sitting around and having conversations at dinner. I mean, when's the last time you went and dined in at a pizza place?
Right,
I
right.
mean, I can't even think the last time I went to a place and had pizza instead of just ordering it to your house and, watch a Netflix or whatever you do. Because you know what they say,
Exactly.
no one out pizzas the hut, so we'll see if that stays true.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that was really good, Billy. Thank you so much.
Thank
It took
you.
me back,
Yeah, of
man.
course.
God, now I want
Oh.
Pizza Hut.
All right, Tim. What do you have for us to whatever happened to what nostalgia are you gonna bring into our brains right now?
Yeah. So when you were talking about Pizza Hut, it's all about nostalgia, right? We
Right.
romanticize things that we had growing up. Like Billy said, maybe the pizza was off that night or bad service, but you don't remember that, right? You just remember
Hmm.
how the experience made you feel. And I have a feeling you're going to have the feels about this one as well. So let me get
Oh
into it
gosh.
for you. So, Billy,
Okay.
picture this, right? It's Saturday
Okay.
morning, 1994. Your
Hmm.
parents tell you, hey, we're making one stop. And you pull into the parking lot, and there it is, the giant, colorful sign, Toys R Us. Whoo!
Jeffrey.
So before you even got out of the car, your heart rate doubled, right? Inside were endless
Hmm.
aisles of action figures, Barbie dolls, bicycles, Nintendo games, Legos, Super Soakers, Nerf guns, board games. They had it all, right?
Everything.
And they had everything, right? And somewhere, usually near the front of the store, was Jeffrey the giraffe. For
That's right.
millions of kids, that's right,
Yes.
millions of kids, Toys R Us wasn't just another store; it was Disneyland with shopping carts, right? Can you like
Woo.
visualize pulling up to Toys R Us as a kid?
Oh, in Biloxi, Mississippi, I know
Oh, I see. You know
exactly.
exactly.
Right across from Edgewater Malls where it was. Yes. Man.
Unreal, unreal
Yes.
feeling. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, whatever happened to Toys R Us? How did the biggest toy store on Earth just completely disappear,
Yeah.
only to somehow come back from the dead? So today, we're going to tell you one of the craziest business stories ever.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the beginning. Believe it or not, Toys R Us actually didn't open as a toy store. In 1948, there was a man named Charles Lazarus. He returned home from serving in World War II.
Uh-huh.
America was about to experience the baby boom, and Lazarus
Ooh.
thought, well, if everyone's having babies, they're going to need some baby furniture, right?
Right.
So he opened up this little shop called Children's Bargain Town, and he sold cribs, strollers, high chairs. But the only problem was this: parents only bought those things one time, right? A baby
Right.
doesn't need a new crib every month. But Lazarus noticed something interesting. Parents came back over and over again for toys for their kids. So
Yeah.
kids are constantly wanting something new. And so he made a huge decision. Forget the furniture. Let's sell toys. Let's go all in and not just sell some toys. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
sell every toy imaginable. It's a simple idea that changed retail toy manufacturers forever. So picture this: it's a giant warehouse of toys, right? So
Mm-hmm.
today we're used to giant stores like Costco, Target, Home Depot, but back then, not so much. There weren't these big, massive stores growing up in the 80s
Right.
and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Toys were tiny, the selection was limited, right? But Charles Lazarus had a radical idea. He said, what if instead of a small toy store, we built a giant warehouse
Come on now.
filled floor to ceiling with just toys, where every
Yes, sir.
kid could look at every toy they had ever dreamed of. And the first official Toys R Us opened in 1957. I had no idea.
Oh,
I thought it was like way later than that.
wow.
You
Yeah.
know, it wasn't fancy at the time. There was no decorations, just concrete floors, metal shelves. But kids didn't care. You know why? Because there were toys literally everywhere.
Everywhere. Man.
Everywhere, man. Parents loved it because prices were low. Kids loved it because it felt magical, right?
Yes.
And then came one of the greatest mascots ever in the history of toys, Jeffrey the giraffe, right?
The giraffe.
Originally, they named him Dr. Giraffe. That was his original name back at the very beginning, right? He was a doctor of toys. He evolved into the smiling giraffe everyone remembers now. He became
Yes.
the face of our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Commercials, stores openings, holiday catalogs. He was everywhere. And then came the jingle. I don't want to grow up because
Toys R Us kid.
there you go.
I could play
What
with.
I so you know the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Uh it said, let's be honest, if you're over 35, you probably just sang that in your head, even if I just said,
Yep. Yep.
even if me and Billy didn't sing it for you. That commercial became one of the most recognizable advertising campaigns in history. And
Yes.
it made adults feel nostalgic as well, by convincing every child that absolutely needed every toy. Now, here's the golden years of Toys R Us. It's the 1980s and the
Yes, sir.
1990s,
Yes,
where Toys
sir.
R Us was at its absolute peak, right?
That's
This
right.
place
That's right.
owned Christmas. Families
Oh
planned
God.
trips there. You know, it was like Pete talked
Yes.
about Pizza Hut. It was an experience to go there. It was a destination, right?
It was. It really
Kids
was.
circled toys and all the holiday catalogs for weeks leading up to Christmas. Do you remember the big Toys R Us catalog coming
Oh,
in the
the
mail?
catalogs.
Oh,
Greatest day of the year.
it
Greatest day of the year. When
was.
that came in the mail, absolutely.
Now,
Holy
growing
cow.
up poor, I wasn't able to get a lot of those toys, but we still saw the catalog, and it was a big deal just
Heck
to
yeah.
look at it and dream. And as we
Mm-hmm.
got older and we had our own kids, that was a big thing. We made sure they got the catalog, had time to circle all the things they wanted for Christmas, and then
Yeah.
go to the store, and let them pick those things out. But anyhow, so walking into Toys R Us in December felt like entering Santa's workshop. And at one point, the company controlled, listen to this, 1/4 of the US toy market. That's massive.
Gosh.
That's massive.
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
if you think about that, one of every 4 toys sold came from Toys R Us.
Mm-hmm.
And they expanded across America, then around the world. More than 1,000 locations. I mean, think about that. More than 1,000 locations. So if you made toys, you had to be in Toys R Us, right? That's
You
where it
had to.
was.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, something changed then. The first cracks appeared in the late 1990s. A little company called Amazon. Back then,
Mm-hmm.
nobody thought Amazon would sell toys. They mostly just sold books.
Books. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Walmart got bigger, Target
Mm-hmm.
got better,
Mm-hmm.
Both stores started selling toys as well, and parents
Yep.
started asking, "Why make a separate trip where I can buy groceries, toilet paper, dog food all in one place and get the
Mm-hmm.
toys too?"
Mm-hmm.
That convenience mattered, right? But here's the thing: competition alone didn't kill Toys R Us. Something much bigger happened. All right. So here's the deal that changed everything. And I didn't know about this until I did this research and a little deeper dive. So in 2005, three investment firms bought Toys R Us, and the purchase price was about $6.6 billion.
Golly. Okay.
But here's the catch: most of the money wasn't theirs; it was borrowed. And guess who had to pay it all back? Toys R Us. The company suddenly owned billions of dollars of debt. And
Yeah.
every year, hundreds of millions went towards debt payments instead of improving stores, technology, or the online shopping experience. So imagine trying to win a race while carrying a refrigerator on your back. That's
Right.
basically what happened to Toys R Us, and that's what they had to do.
Mm.
And here was the thing that I did not know about: the Amazon mistake. One of the biggest business mistakes ever. Instead of building its own online store, Toys R Us partnered with Amazon.
Mm.
Big mistake. Sounds smart, right? Except Amazon learned everything about toys selling online through Toys R
Mhm.
Us, and then Amazon started selling toys itself. So now Toys R Us was helping train the company that would eventually beat them and overtake them. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That's
It's,
yeah. So true. That's
oh,
so true,
crazy.
though.
And by the time Toys R Us started trying to catch up, Amazon had already won and passed them by far, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's too late. It was way too late.
Yeah, way too late at that point. So walking into an old Toys R Us, remember the last time you visited? The stores kind of felt different, right? The
Yeah.
carpet looked old. It's so sad. The shelves were as exciting. The video game selection got smaller. Employees
Mm-hmm.
became harder to find in the store. And it wasn't because
Right.
people stopped loving toys. It was because the company couldn't afford to modernize and they were
Yeah.
paying debt instead. And then the collapse. In September of 2017, Toys R Us filed for bankruptcy protection. And at first, the plan was simple: reorganize, stay open, survive. But suppliers became nervous. They stopped supplying and shipping toys to Toys R Us. And without toys, a toy store has nothing to sell, really.
That's right.
And just months later, the company announced something heartbreaking. Every US store would close. More than 700 stores and about 33,000 jobs were gone overnight.
Golly.
And
Golly.
for many people, Billy, and you know this, it felt like we're losing a piece of our childhood.
It really did. That was it was so hard because what was so crazy was because
Yeah.
you know this was right around the time that Chloe was born.
Mm-hmm.
We bought her crib, we bought her
Yeah.
dresser because it was all like Disney princess themed
Mm-hmm.
crib and dresser, and like it's really pretty. You actually still have the dresser up. The crib's upstairs in the attic as well, but the dresser Lily uses still. It's awesome, but um, yeah, it was so sad because we got all of our like Disney Infinity toys, like going
Yeah.
there as an adult and having like adult money, and then actually somebody be like, "No, you can't buy that."
Yeah.
That was pretty. And then they go and close the dang doors right
Oh,
when
it was awful.
yeah. So
And
yeah.
something I didn't put in my script, I did research on, and like I know you remember this. Back in 80s and 90s, like every commercial while you're watching cartoons had all these amazing toys, right? You're
Oh
seeing every
yes,
brand new toy coming and going. And then you could
yes,
go to the store and touch those things. Like they were
yes.
real.
They
It
were
wasn't just a
real,
catalog, you know? And
right?
you could, and they
Yeah,
didn't care if you picked them up, walked around the toy store with them, played with them a little bit. Like that was
yeah,
the appeal, right?
right. Absolutely.
Oh, so it was magic. I remember seeing commercials of like GI Joes and
Yes.
Transformers, and then being able to go to the store and actually play with
Mhm,
those things and hold them.
mhm.
It was just like it became real. Like everything that
Yeah,
you saw on TV became real and tangible in real life, and that's why it was so hard. And that was so
yeah.
hard for it to close down and you losing that nostalgia a little bit.
Golly,
And then
yeah.
there was the emotional goodbye. So if you watch videos online from those final weeks, they were emotional. Parents brought
Mhm.
kids back in the store just to have that same feeling that the parents wanted to have
Yes,
too. Not to
yes.
shop, but sadly to say goodbye. People took selfies with Jeffrey. Employees
Oh,
cried. Some had worked there for decades. Some
yeah,
stores had completely emptied out, shelves disappeared, and eventually, even Jeffrey's giant statue walked out the front door.
yeah.
It was one of the saddest retail endings ever. But
Mhm.
wait, not so fast. Here's where the story gets weird. Toys R Us didn't actually die. The stores did, but the brand didn't. Investors realized something. People love the name. They still love Jeffrey. They still love the memories, the nostalgia, right? So instead of
Mhm.
throwing the brand away, they kept it alive. And eventually, WHP Global took control of the brand, began trying to different ways to bring Toy Stories back through partnerships, smaller stores, and like licensing deals.
Mhm.
And the comeback. So if you remember, they closed down all those 700 giant stores at the end. Everybody was
Yep.
so sad.
Yep.
But they tried something different. Smaller locations, flagship stores, shops inside of shops. And today,
Yep.
you can find Toy Story sections inside Macy's stores. Locally
Yep.
for us, it's
There.
Kohl's. Kohl's has a little
Yeah.
Toys R Us section in the store. I don't know about you. Do
Mhm.
they have those for you too?
We went to Macy's the other day and actually looked around their little toy section in Toys R Us. They have a Jeffrey on the bench sitting there you can take a picture with
Oh, okay,
and
cool.
everything. Yeah. Yeah.
So they did that. And
Mhm.
then during the holidays, to like take advantage of that, they had pop up Toys R Us stores popping up in
Kind of like
malls,
the
like small
Yeah, kind
section.
of like the Halloween, like kind of how Halloween store, like the what's it called?
Spirit Halloween.
Where yes, they just open up the thing. We were actually in Nashville last weekend for my cousin's wedding, and we went
Yeah.
to Opry Mills Mall, which is one of the larger malls in the country. But they have an actual Toys R Us store. I mean, it's the size of like what our KB stores used to be, like the KB
Oh, sure.
Toys. So it's not the grand warehouse, but it was like an actual sign on the top. It just was
Yeah.
it was a permanent there, and they have opportunities to because they have the store next to it that they don't they have it blocked off with like temporary walls.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
guess they do a lot of like their back stock there, but they can grow it to make it bigger. I guess as if they get bigger, hopefully they do.
Oh, so is it permanent? Like a location there? It's
Yeah,
permanent. It's not like a pop up.
It's a permanent. Yeah,
Oh,
that's a permanent location, but like I said, it's smaller.
okay.
But it has the opportunity to grow. So yeah,
Ooh, so you get a little taste of nostalgia when you go there, right?
yeah, yeah, a little bit.
So the question is, as we start to wrap this up today, is could it ever be the same? Probably not, right? The
Right,
world
right.
changed. Kids don't discover toys the same way anymore like we used to.
They
Instead
don't
of wandering aisles in the store forever, they watch toys on TikTok, on YouTube, right?
on YouTube,
Instagram.
100%.
Especially, I mean, you have younger kids, and that's how they discover their
Mhm.
toys, right? Like
Yep.
watching YouTube videos, people unboxing the toys, right?
Yes, 100%.
And shopping itself changed. The magic of spending an hour exploring giant toy aisles is something that many kids have never experienced and probably
Right.
never will, really. Um, but some of the fun facts is like at its peak, Toys R Us sold enough toys to dominate roughly 25% of the US market, which is huge.
Wow.
And speaking to what you mentioned a second ago, the company actually started selling baby furniture and not
Yeah.
toys, right?
Yeah.
Jeffrey the Giraffe is older than many adults listening today.
Yeah.
um, and the famous jingle has been stuck inside our head for over 40 years. Billy, you want to sing it one more time? I don't
I'm
want to grow
gonna
up.
grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. What was it? There's something dun 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 dun. The
Oh,
toys
yeah,
I can
yeah.
play with. Something, so something like that.
So the question is, whatever happened to Toys R Us? It wasn't because kids stopped loving toys, right? It wasn't because Christmas disappeared. It wasn't because Jeffrey retired. It was just actually a really perfect storm. Massive debt, Amazon, Walmart,
Mhm.
changing
Mhm.
shopping habits, and years of missed opportunities. But here's the interesting part. Some brands, just like pizza, are so deeply woven into our childhood, right? They never really disappear. You can close the stores, you can take down the signs, but mention Toys R Us, and almost everyone instantly remembers what it felt like to walk through those automatic doors. That smell of
Right.
plastic, rubber tire
From
smell from the bikes, the video
bikes.
games
Yep.
playing,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And the smell of new toys as you open them, hear that jingle and believe just for a little while that growing up could wait. Because after all, none of us really wanted to grow up because we were always Toys R Us kids.
That's right. Oh my
And
gosh.
that's whatever happened to Toys R Us. Oh,
Ah!
so much nostalgia in that, man. Like,
Yes.
well, this was a really fun episode. I really like this a lot. Especially like
This
you
was
were giving me all the nostalgia talking about Pizza Hut, and
Mhm.
hopefully I gave it back to you talking about
You
Toys R Us.
did.
So
Yes, yes.
one of those
It's two of my
amazing
favorite
memories.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Burnt like I said earlier, core memories. Core
Yeah.
memories.
That's what it's all about.
Mhm.
So go out there and make some core memories with your family. Get out of the
Yes.
house, go to the store. I don't know if there's any big shopping stores around anymore, but as far as for toys only, I know there's big shopping stores. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, get out of the house, experience it, go out and get pizza together, and
Yeah.
make those memories. Make those memories. So.
Heck
Anyhow,
yeah.
Billy, if they want to talk to us about their memories and share their nostalgia about Pizza Hut, Toys R Us, or about anything, where can they find us at?
Well, yeah, go over to Facebook and type in all the Everything Podcast. You'll see us right there. Hit follow, join the conversation with us, leave us a comment, like, love, what all the things.
Love.
We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram. You can watch this full episode on YouTube. And yeah, we would love to hear you. And if you want to be part of the inner group, we do have a special secret, not so secret group chat that we would love to get you connected. Just DM us and we will get you all hooked up. And you can be in the know before we go. So there you go.
I love it. And just so you know, in the group chat, there's no spam. We're not trying to sell you anything. It's just a place for other listeners to come together and talk about the episodes. And like Billy said, we would love to have you there and check everything out. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode today and had a lot of nostalgia. But you know what? We can't wait to see you next time for yet another amazing episode of All the Everything Podcast. Thank you for listening, and we can't wait to see you next time.
Bye, y'all.